We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Episode 9, Straight to Hell. The episode, I'm guessing, is rated TVMA because it says fuck. So will this video be. Like all other videos I've done on this show, absolutely love this episode. Like most things MCU and MCU adjacent, there will be spoilers for the episode and everything MCU and adjacent leading up to it. Let's dive right in. So I kind of love that if this was the first episode you watched, it doesn't actually tell you who Dex shot for several minutes. Like it, you know, because there's a bunch of other stuff in the what's it called? Previously on. You know, I couldn't help but note, we didn't see who he shot. We just see that, okay, he's, you know, yeah. And we do see, you know, Vanessa recruited him face to face, and he does acknowledge, you know, are we really going to work together? And, you know, and over the course of the episode, we do see Frank really take issue with there being people out there imitating him. We get the explanation as to why Fisk is trying to get Dex killed. Yeah, there are several questions, you know, stuff that earlier episodes set up as like, you know, we don't really know exactly what, you know. Yeah, this episode answers a lot of stuff. One of the only questions I'm left with is, when the fuck are we fans gonna just let people tell a fucking story and not, like, jump down their throats about, why are you answering this question? The season's not over yet. Calm the fuck down. Jesus fucking Christ. And yes, I do include myself in that. I do sometimes do this, and I'm working on it. We gotta get better at this. I'm not saying, for real, criticize when it's, like, bad, you know, storytelling, but, like, if the season's not over, if the story hasn't fully been told, give them a chance. I think this was the right time for us to get these answers. I'm glad I didn't know until this episode the stuff about the Freeport, for example, and that's pretty important to the answer of, you know, why was it the Dex was hired and this whole thing. Yeah, and you know, Dex, like, it's so wonderfully done. Dex is sitting there and he's like, this is bad for me, I don't want to go back to that, because he never did. I'm so glad they did bring that back. I was hesitant to bring up because, like, up to this point, he's been fairly one note on this show so far, and that is not what he was in Season 3 of the Netflix show. But there you go. There it is. This is why, you know, when you see him be so one note, when he's killing Foggy and attacking Daredevil, it's because he's suppressing the layers that there, you know, are to him, same as he was in Season 3 of Daredevil, the Netflix show. And this wonderful image of, you know, he's sitting there, he's like, I gotta take my meds, I want to get better. And Vanessa, like, just, you know, pulls them away. You know, she is literally telling someone who is struggling with mental illness, I like you better ill. You know, I have a sickness, stay that way. Fuck, I botched that. Anyway, haven't watched that movie in like 20 years. Anyway, yeah, yeah, what was the other thing? I think that does cover that opening a bit, but yeah, it was really chilling to see her in full, like, mob mode. And let's see, we did not see much of Dex, and we didn't see, like, the escape and such. I don't think that's a problem, and I'm really glad he's still around. If I talk about how every single little thing I love about how all the stuff they brought back from the Netflix show, we will be here all year. So I'm just gonna move on, but just, yeah, so glad that the character's back and the actor's back, and that he got to flex in, you know, weird flex, but okay, in this episode. The just, yeah. Yeah. Some people had wondered if there would be like a time skip, I think it's called, since Daredevil is shot, and are we really gonna want a season finale? By the way, excellent season finale. Are we really gonna want a season finale where he's like not able to do any superheroics? I understand where they're coming from. After all, not everybody remembers how ridiculously fast he fucking heals on the Netflix show. Like, remember in season 1 when, like, everybody remembers the epic, the hallway fight, the epic, yeah. I'm not sure everybody remembers. He was beat to shit before that. Like, he got to heal a little bit, but like, it wasn't that many hours of healing. He was, yeah. Like, they like threw him in a dumpster or something after, because he was like so messed up, and like hours later he's taken on all these guys, like half a dozen guys or something. So yeah, like, he heals fast. That's just how they do this version, at least, of Daredevil. I think that does bring us to, right. The thing with Fisk. So, for those who are new to my videos on this show, I like to use the term Trisk to refer to when Fisk is being especially Trumpian. Very Trisk heavy when he's like, yeah, the assassination attempt, yeah, talking about how, yeah, he wants revenge and this thing. Like, all we're really missing is for him to like blame the Democrats or something, but that really is when like, they investigated, he's a Republican. Let's see, there have been 2 people, I think it is, who, let me real quick, just to make sure I'm not talking out my ass, won't take forever. So let's see, I think, does that more or less go? Yeah, let's see, I thought I heard somewhere that okay, maybe I need to be more specific. Yeah, fucking Google can't. Okay, this one says he wasn't really either of the major parties. Yeah. Let's see. It says here, Thomas Matthew Crooks registered as a Republican. Let's see, and yeah. Right, and the other, let's Ryan something. I think. Let's see. I am not really seeing anything that. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that I read somewhere that he either was Republican or wasn't. Let's see. At least wasn't like a fan of the Democratic Party. Let's see. Yeah, unaffiliated with any party, and yet, Republicans jumped at the chance to say, oh, the Democrats are sending assassins. Motherfucker, Jesus Christ, we are fucking doomed. He became president again after screaming about how the people trying to shoot him were sent by Democrats, not just, like... Okay, fine, I forget if he personally said, but I'm, like, fairly confident that he didn't call out the people who were saying the shooters were sent by the Democrats. Like, as if Republicans... Like, dude, there are so many Republicans who hate your guts, okay? I don't condone violence. I don't think we should be shooting anybody. I want him to face trial and to actually, you know, and not like, I'm not talking retributive justice, I'm talking restorative justice. But the idea that there are no Republicans in America who would, yeah, like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna move on, or we're gonna be here all decade. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, the thing with, you know, he sends everybody but Buck out, and he's like, is Daredevil still alive? And follow-up, could he not be? And the thing with, you know, oh no, he succumbed to his wounds. But I don't think he has. I've heard his stable. Oh, you mean, I think we're on the same page. But just in case, could you explain it out loud? But yeah, that was genuinely chilling. You know, we hear the shoes down the hallway, and Matt is also like, oh, there's someone coming, you know, just, yeah. And, let's see. Yeah, actually, yeah, Dex. The confusion about Dex does mirror the confusion about the actual, you know, would-be assassins of Trump. You know, but they weren't they on the same side? Didn't they used to be on the same side? I was just gonna make sure. I don't think it's something I need to deal with, and it is not. Yeah. But yeah. Vanessa still very much. Not Vanessa. Heather. Sorry. Heather still being, you know, like, well, I don't see, you know, no, Fisk, Matt, you're completely wrong about Fisk. And, you know, yeah, Matt sounds delirious talking about, you know, the case. You have to help me find the, yeah. I think, yeah, it was also, like, so when Buck can't inject the thing to make sure to, you know, that Matt succumbs to his wounds, they kick down the door. Well, they were gonna, you know. I like that the leader had, you know, the guy's like, I'm ready to bust down the door, sir, and the other guy's like, it's fun, but I think we're gonna just ixnay, you know, we don't need it right now. Sorry. Hopefully you'll get another chance, you know. But yeah, they you know, they were gonna bust down the door. They get in there. They've got guns. And like, that went south so fast. Like, that escalated quickly. Like, wow. But Frank being there, like, you're an asshole. I can't believe that I can't make a cup of coffee. And then later he's like, nothing a good cup of coffee can't fix. You know, Frank, if this whole vigilante thing doesn't work out for you, I know, I know what that sounds like coming out of, you know. You could, like, shill for a coffee company, you know. What was who was it, was it Quartering? There's some, one of the anti-woke YouTubers, apparently, like, coffee company failing, or if I understand correctly, so, I don't know, he needs all the help he can get. And I think he has bad enough media literacy that he thinks you two are on the same side. Now, to be clear, I am not, like, jumping for joy at someone's, like, business failing. I just appreciate the irony of someone screaming, go woke, go broke, for, I don't know, a decade by now, almost, whilst going extremely anti-woke, and now, like, I mean, I hope he doesn't go broke. I don't want anybody to be broke, but I'm sorry, that's ironic. Don't you think? Frank, and I like the, you're gonna do it with your ass hanging out? Fuck you, Frank. Just, yeah, really enjoying the two of them together. And the thing, you know, I got a phone call, I got a callback, and yeah, we get some of the best Punisher action in that scene, and the episode in general. Also, when he goes into attack the task force, fantastic stuff. Some of the best live action Punisher action IMO, and I really appreciated how they do both get, like, sometimes when you have a character return, sometimes they'll like get to just sleepwalk through an action scene, and the other will be like, oh, wow, I forgot how amazing you are. And I do appreciate Daredevil does get to do some stuff in the scene as well. And yeah, so Frank shoots a couple people, and then he grabs one, uses as like a human shield, and once he's done with him, like, throws him hard into a solid object, and the guy, like, let's see, I don't think he died from that, but he certainly got hurt. I knew I wasn't the only person who remembered the video game adaptation of the Thomas Jane movie, because I'm sorry, that is right out of there. Like, I'm not saying it's never happened in the comic. It's either inspired by the game, or it's inspired by whatever inspired the game to do that, because you do that all the time in the game. Like, taking a human shield, and then when you're done with them, throwing them into some kind of, solid object, or off something, or the like. There are other things you can do with them as well, but that's a pretty popular one. And I do appreciate they don't shoot the guy in charge before they get, let's see, they get the walkie-talkie from him. Ah, fuck, I already forgot. My goddamn memory. I forget if they got information out of him. And Daredevil, standing in front of you. Oh, so this is just your job now. You just jump in front of bad guys so that, they don't get shot. And let's see. Then we have the... See, now I'm wondering... Because they didn't end up killing him. Daredevil left him alive. I'm sure somebody found him. They kept using the radio, but then when Frank shows up, there's a lot of the task force there. I think it was a trap. They knew that he'd be listening, because if they didn't change frequency, because that is, standard SOP. When somebody else has your communicator... Yeah, so the fact that there were that many of them still at base, I think they said, we're going hunting, so that he would think he could, go into the base, there'd only be a few guys, he'd take those out, set a trap for when the rest of them come back, and thus be able to attack them, because it is quite a optimistic move if you're not aware that if you are aware that it's a trap, rather, or if it's just not a trap, for you to go in when there's that many, but yeah. He's really freaking intense in this. Sorry, fucking. I didn't mean to imply that I run out of fucks to give. Yeah, John Bernthal, still wonderful in this role. Can't wait to see the special they're making for him. Did recently learn that he apparently started in, like, theater, which, like, I can't even imagine. Like, don't get me wrong, I've seen him have, like, more tender scenes, including as Punisher in the MCU, but... Or adjacent, or rather. I don't know. I kind of... Maybe I'll look up a clip if there's, like... If somebody filmed some of his stage performance, but, yeah. Anyway. Really glad that he, like, is incredibly talented. Yeah. It's not that he can only play this kind of dark, gritty, intense role. It's just he gravitates towards them, evidently, especially like military law enforcement kind of ones. That brings us to... Yeah, I will say, when they were like, it was clear there was a car nearby, I was thinking, oh fuck, is someone gonna try to like run them over or something, but no. Karen, I call shotgun, and it's, yeah, who else would it possibly have been that called Frank to tell him to go save Matt Murdock. You know, that's I don't think there's really any other character that, yeah. So that was a great bit of, yeah. And in some ways, Karen was perhaps got more to do and was more like interesting and important in this episode than she was in her appearances across the Punisher Netflix show. I don't know. I love those 2 seasons, but I don't think they did the best job of giving her something really compelling to do. Really, really glad that I'm so glad Deborah Ann Woll has gotten to, because I know I mentioned it before, but it just, like, when I read that she felt like, you know, she really couldn't get jobs after the Marvel Netflix, you know, stuff, the Defenders verse. God, it was just so sad to read the idea that she wouldn't get to act again. So glad that I think she's gonna pop up in other Disney stuff, because they've been doing that a bunch. You know, there's a number of people now who are in, you know, multiple, you know, a lot of the time, the ones I've noticed especially, it's they'll do something MCU and something Star Wars, and I 100% could see her fit right in Star Wars as one of the badass women that are, you know, yeah. There's a number of those in Star Wars, so yeah. Let's yeah, I like the scene with the 3 of them, and, you know, you coming, Frank? And, you know, I don't buy your act that I don't think you don't care, which means I do think you do care. And, you know, the thing, you asked for a favor, I delivered. Thank you. It's a great little, because, like, you know, he's not going to tell her to fuck off. He's just going to point out, look, I care at least a little bit. I cared enough to follow, you know, to do the thing that you asked me. And yeah, it was sweet when Matt explains avocados at law, because yeah, I'm almost 100% certain they never explained that. So they might have said they were going to, but we never saw a scene, I'm almost 100% certain, of them actually explaining that to her in the Netflix show. So that was sweet. And yeah, them bonding over, you know, they both lost Foggy. You know, there's no need for them to grieve separately. And it is also great that she's like, she is not at all saying you can't do this whole vigilante thing. She's just like, you got to be smart about how you do this vigilante thing. You know, can't, yeah, the meme. Anyway, but yeah, and, you know, there's the thing, you know, oh, we need an army. Do you need an army, or would it suffice if you had a small group of people who are so powerful that all put together they could take on an army? Because I think that is what that's you know, it's what many of us have heard. And is that too deep of a cut? That's probably, yeah. Anyway, welcome to the channel, I guess. Anyway, yeah, and I do also really appreciate, I mean, obviously, you know, they got to set up, you know, no, the show's not over, there's more seasons to come, but also, I'm sorry, the idea that Daredevil would just be able to take on all of them, yeah, there's simply no way. And I felt like this episode did a really solid job of making clear, no, more is needed. You know, this is not going to be something that Daredevil can do on his own, and that was how the Defenders show, you know, yeah, they made it clear, hey, none of these guys and gal, none of them can do it on their own. They gotta, you know, it would be so lonely. They gotta team up, you know. If Iron Fist does return, I do hope that he's the one stoked about, oh, we're teaming up, that's so cool. And he's just jazzed about being on the show, man. And I think that does cover... I'm not sure I have more about Daredevil. This term. I think that might cover it. Yeah. And it covers Karen. Yeah, so there's some Fisk stuff. I think I'll just briefly finish up Frank. So, yeah, he goes to the place, and they say non-lethal rounds. Because that really, and think about how close proximity this is to, and I realize, I'm not sure, I don't think those were task force, those might have just been regular cops, but they were the, the ones shooting a shoplifter, and they'd be like, oh, he's a vigilante, see, he's got a mask, but with Punisher, they're like, oh, and non-lethal rounds, please, nobody kill him, and like, Mr. Punisher, sir, I cannot tell you what an honor it is to meet you, and to be stabbed by you, and have my throat slit by you. I'm your biggest fan! Just like, yeah. Fuck, he did not hold back at all. There's like no, I know you guys are cops, but I think you're doing the wrong thing. No, just like, yeah. And then, they do manage to subdue him. Really appreciate the detail of the swollen eye that it seems like at first he can barely even open it, just, yeah. And then they start, Powell is like, you killed a lot of my men. Please work, guide us, Oh, anointed one, lead us into victory. And Frank, God love him, Frank, you are a tactical genius in so many situations. Not this one, though. Holy shit. At least, go along with it a little bit. No, I get it. He's offended. It is like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Are you seriously? You think we're the same? You think that you going around shooting innocent people is like me killing criminals? What the fuck are you on, and why isn't it illegal in every country on the planet? And honestly, across the universe and multiverse as well. Just like, and by the end they still leave him alive, and I feel like Fisk is probably like, fine, because like he knows, he does have to be careful not to fuck up with the cops, because yeah, they do probably hold Punisher in higher esteem than Fisk. It's just that Fisk is the one giving them free rein to brutalize innocent people. But yeah, he's in a cage. Very... The show's not fucking subtle, is it? Like, fuck me. But yeah, him and a bunch of, at least some of them were the rich people, because there's so many fucking characters on the show. At least, because I certainly recognize Jack Duquesne. And it is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Because rich people weren't, did not have their power taken away by Trump. They were all too willing to, but the show isn't exactly perfect on the, we also have the honorable police chief who's like, I can't believe all these bad apples who I, for some fucking reason, neglected to just get rid of. I don't know. Yeah. But in case I'm going to give you one last chance, in case you're one of the people who, because I almost did, I will admit, I just let it run just in case, but if you are someone who, closes the thing as soon as the credits start rolling, the end credits start rolling, there's an mid credit scene. It's not mid. It's very high quality. If you haven't watched it yet, please pause this video now, go watch it, then come back. But yeah, if you're still watching, I'm going to assume you watch it. That was really cool, but I also, holy shit, the cop completely fell for it. But yeah, they idolized him. I was like, you're from, don't say it, Are you from... Okay, maybe say it. Jersey! I knew you were from Jersey. That's why I said it first, and then you picked up on it. Yeah. I'm from Jersey, too. Can I shake your hand? Why would you do that? But yeah, you know, and yeah, you know, like breaks some. He broke his dialing fingers, pulls his hand and breaks the arm, and yeah, like I'm thinking he's gonna get his hands on keys and be able to get out of there, and yeah, that was really cool. I think that just leaves Fisk. So yeah, the enemies list is also very Trisk. And yeah, I gotta say, the moment I heard about the Freeport, I was thinking, oh, so like how Trump can do anything illegal he wants to as long as he's president. Now he's trying to be president until he dies. Possibly past that, we haven't, you know, they haven't worked out everything yet. I'm saying he doesn't plan ahead, that's all. But yeah, and it is clever, you know, Freeport, she used to use it for paintings, now they're building a facility down there, he's going to be able to carry on being the kingpin there, and that's why he kept telling Luca, slow down, you know, no, we'll get back to it, I promise you, but we have, or wait, was that Vanessa? Someone fucking told him, I forget, it might have been Buck, and he's working for like both Vanessa and Fisk, so I guess he was the one who told Fisk, oh hey, Vanessa is trying to get Luca to, anyway, yeah, really devastating that Sheila actually gave in, and you also see it on her face, like I think she is straight up like crying when she, you know, she handed Fisk the recording, and that's also why she was, yeah, the way she was standing and like being careful about what she was saying, because she's thinking, I'm being recorded, you know. So, Gallo, you were saying, please speak directly into my lapel here. No reason. I just want to make sure Fisk, I mean, I can hear you very clearly. So you were saying you were going to betray Fisk, and 3, 2, 1. Now let's see, I think that might just about bring us to, yeah, and Daniel showing like insane. How many? Yeah. Anybody else want to say something incriminating? I can also take food orders. I'm just kidding. I'm just here for the incrimination. And yeah, you know, what was it would make stop and frisk look like daycare, like shit. And yeah, that again, very Trisk, you know, using, you know, something that happened, like, yeah, bad thing that happened, bad thing that was done by a person, using that to just like, yeah, punish everyone he doesn't like. Let's see, I think, yeah, and now, you know, everyone is dangerous. You know, in the show they're saying vigilante, you know, fuck, what was it they said? He said homegrown. I guess that means like terrorist or something. Yeah, he's gonna start sending, you know, Trump is gonna start deporting American citizens who are not even immigrants if he disagrees with them politically. You know, keeping in mind one of the people deported was literally just peacefully protesting, you know, in favor of Palestine, you know, against genocide. And that's now terrorism. You know, that is worthy of being deported. Let's see. I think that does bring us to, yeah, I'll just briefly say, really excited for season 2, and yeah, I really appreciated how frickin' dark they went with Gallo. Like, that is the most brutal thing that we've seen, I would argue, in one of the, I don't know, it's possible there's something very close to, certainly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had some really intense stuff, and some of the other shows that were before the Disney Plus stuff, but it's very high up there, you know. And yeah, I gotta say, my jaw dropped, much like Gallows did.